Good afternoon, everyone. Anthony, Wall Street Trader. It's 12:16 p.m., 12:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, December 16, 2021. This isn't financial advice, it's educational. Click the subscribe, share the video. Click the thumbs up, and here we are to talk about Origin Protocol. Okay, first and foremost, let's talk about this resistance area. We are starting to crack above it. We literally gapped up. It's probably hard to see if you're on a phone, but there's a giant gap from here all the way up to here. It's like the next trade from 63 spot 45 was almost 1% higher, which is kind of strange. Maybe because there's a little bit of not much liquidity on Bittrex. But anyway, neither here nor there. Looking like we could be seeing a potential bullish event here. But let's see how far and long we can be above this resistance line, which is now currently support. So right now, resistance right below it around 63.88. Sorry, that's support down there at 63.88. Resistance up around 69 cents. Now, we kind of knew that this bad boy would come up like this. And the reason why was because we were looking at the Origin Bitcoin pair. And we were literally straddled right on there on the last video. 1250 was the rough area of support, and we certainly popped. Once in a while, trend lines can be an indicator of an imminent bounce. Or an imminent bounce, whether it's a bounce up on support or a bounce down from hitting the resistance area. So those two can, trend lines can help you with that, and channels can help you with that. Same thing with Fibonacci's, possibly. But make no mistake about it, patterns are way better at predicting that. So resistance at 1250, 1500 on, resistance at 1500, support on 1250. Speaking of patterns, let's talk about patterns on Bitcoin, because this is where the real patterns are starting to take shape right here, right now. A couple of things. I've drawn these rectangular things in the past, and they've turned out to be exactly what we've thought them to be. I tried one recently a few weeks ago. It didn't quite happen the way we expected. This one looks a little more clearer to me, so I've put these red and green blocks to kind of enclose the rectangular pattern that we've seen. Now, typically with these rectangular patterns, you come in, and then you fill out the price action on the left side, on the top left side, and then the bottom right side, separated by this giant drop from top to bottom. Same thing over here. Left side, top to bottom drop, then bottom right side, fill it in. Boom. And then we kind of went all the way up. Same thing is happening right now over here. We came in, filling out the top left side, came all the way down, bounced off, and now we're filling out the bottom right side. So what does that mean? Well, this means that if past prediction is any current potential price action, we should see at some point when this thing is done a bounce pretty high to at least the 68K, because we've already went to 68K from a much lower level at 41 to 68. We're at 46. So we're at 48 right now, but 46 on the bottom end. So I think what's going to happen here is that we're going to have this. I think this will turn into is very predictive, and I think we're going to see a massive move on Bitcoin, but not just yet. I think we have possibly a little bit more downside to go here until we hit the bottom. Same thing has happened here. We've kind of went all the way down till we hit rock bottom on both instances. So I think we could have another one to hit rock bottom before our massive wick up. So something to look forward to there. That's one pattern. The other pattern is the descending broadening wedge, and we've been talking about this every single time. I don't know if I want to do it again, but anyway, the quick and dirty is you break past this resistance line of the broadening wedge, and we should be back all the way to at least the 68K range where this broadening wedge started. That is the law of patterns in general. It is not always 100% accurate, but the large majority of cases it is, in my experience. So Bitcoin dominance is here, and it's here to stay. It's certainly looking like we are all the way down. We could be catching a bounce here. Again, channels can be helpful. Lines can be helpful in terms of figuring out where these things bounce, if it's a support and or a resistance area. So right now looks like it's hard to see here, but looks like we could be in for a resistance right now, 40, 50, roughly in that spot. Starting to go up a little bit here, and we'll see how this thing goes. Could be for potentially a Bitcoin dump or a Bitcoin spike. imminent, but it's definitely something going to happen, I think, over the next 2 to 3 days is where I'm expecting things to happen. Right now, 64.91. Certainly the gap up is holding for at least the moment, and I'll keep you posted on Twitter.